Another effect of Lupita and Salvador getting robbed is that it changes Lupita's thinking of her own people. If you look in chapter 4, she says, thinking of the robbers, she added, I had not thought our own people would rob us. Salvador laughed. No, if a person has money, anyone will rob him. And then he calls her a fool. So this is showing that Lupita learning about the world and about how people act. So she's becoming less trusting. So we're going to say Lupita sees a new perspective on her own people. And what she means by own people is, of course, the people who rob her are Mexican. So she only thinks that the gringos, the white people, would rob her, but now she sees that her own people would rob her. And an example of that is what we just read on page 48, that she says, I had not thought our own people would rob us. Didn't think own people would rob us. And again, that's on page 48. And that's an example of how Lupita, by being robbed, it results in Lupita seeing a new perspective of her on her own people. An example is that she says she didn't think her own people would rob us. And you can see didn't is past tense. That means she has changed her mind now. That's in the past, the way she thought in the past. All right, if you keep reading in chapter 4, you can see that on page 57, when Lupita finds the gentleman at the store that offered to help her, it says that she backs away, thinking of the robbers, remembering the robbers on the road. Lupita stiffens and moves back. So she's becoming less trusting of people. And then down at the bottom of 57, they have to tell her, don't be afraid. I am not going to hurt you. I can help you. So it takes a little bit for her to be trusting. She doesn't just listen right away or trust people right away anymore. So another effect of them being robbed is that Lupita stops trusting people as much. Lupita stops trusting people. Okay, and then the example is when she stiffens up and backs away. And that again is on page 57. So I'm going to put right here, page 57. Okay, so these are three effects, three things that happen as a result of them being robbed. The first one is that Lupita reveals her true feelings about Salvador's knife. Then another outcome or result of them being robbed is Lupita sees a new perspective on her own people. And the last effect of Lupita being robbed is that she stops trusting people. Okay, and then we provided examples of those from the book. All right, once you have this map complete, go ahead and turn over to independent practice. If you need to pause at this time, go ahead and do so, complete the map, and then join me in independent practice. Okay, for independent practice, it says go back to each cause and effect map and add one additional reason for each significant event. Don't forget to add examples to support each reason. Okay, so I'm going to go back to our map. We only have one map this week, so I'm going to just add, it says to add one more effect. So what's one more effect? What's one more thing that happens as a result of them being robbed, and you need to make sure you provide at least one example from the book. Go ahead and hit pause and add that effect and example at this time. Great. Now that you've added one of your own effects of Lupita and Salvador being robbed and provided an example, you're ready to complete the exit slip. Today's exit slip is completely all about chapter 4, things that happened in today's reading. So make sure that you have completely read chapter 4 before answering the exit slip. It's also going to be fill in the blank this time instead of multiple choice. I want to make sure that you're actually reading and understanding and remembering what you're reading. So let's look at the directions. Answer the following questions on chapter 4 in a complete sentence. Sentence starters have been provided for you. So if you look at number 1, where do Salvador and Lupita sleep at night? I gave you the sentence starter. Salvador and Lupita sleep, and then you need to fill in the blank. You are welcome and encouraged to use your book. Remember, all of these answers come from chapter 4 to go back and look for the correct answer. Go ahead and complete the exit slip, and when you're done, you'll be ready to close your book and turn this into your period box and be ready to be dismissed by your teacher.